Good afternoon, this is Zachary from Zachary Sweeps, and today we are going to do two things. First thing, we're going to tell the customer that he can't put his wood there. It's a big no-no. I keep coming across this so much. It's so dangerous. I can't stress it enough. We must stop. People must stop doing it. Leave it there to dry it out. It's fine, not a problem. But don't leave it there for longer than a day or two max. I even went round someone's house who only had a couple of logs next to their wood burner that caught fire, and not even caught fire, smouldered. Stunk the house out with the smell of burning wood for a few weeks before they got rid of the smell. So that's the first thing I'll be telling them after I've done this job. They've got a broken glass, as you can see on here. I said I'd do a video on removing these broken glasses. These I like these stoves. They're pretty cool actually. I'm not too sure where they come from and what make they are. I don't know if it tells you on here. I think they're what do they call them? Yule-tool, something like that. A Yule-tool. I'm sure it says up there. I can't really read. Yeah, it's a Yule-tool. I thought it was. It needs a good clean of them. I'm here also to sweep it as well. But yeah, a Yule-tool. But, well, there you go, look at that. Yule-tool. Can you see that? And they're really good, these appliances, because basically you can have the doors open and use them as an open fire, as well as a wood burner. So when you go out, you can shut the doors, or when you're in here and you just want to enjoy the fire, you can do. They have a baffle plate. It sits quite low down, as you can see. It sits very low down where the pipe goes up. Some of them have two. I don't know if this one originally had two. I'll have to check to feel if there's any other brackets up there, but I'm used to these having two. But this one, this is the first time I've been to this one, only has one just there, so it's there and then it goes around. Obviously that's what the baffle plate's all about. It's a clear view, as you can see. It's got that bit there. So basically what we've got to do is what I'm doing today is I'm sorting out this gasket rope, because it's all crumbled away. As you can see, I've already taken it off. As you can see, look at the state of that. It's just like, it's awful. So I'm going to put some new stuff on it. Basically, the first thing I'm going to do is take the glass and get rid of that rope. So now you're going on to pause while I do that, because I can't hold the camera and do that at the same time, because all my stuff's in that box and I've got to get it all out. Do you remember when we were? Do you remember? Do you remember on one of my videos I was saying about that you mustn't over tighten these? Otherwise, if you over tighten them, the heat will expand and then you won't be able to get the thread out. Fortunate enough, I mean, it's quite tight in there, and also it can crack the glass. This one's been cracked, so like basically I'm just doing that a little bit. I don't have to do it too much. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just take the glass out, because that should be loose enough to take the glass out. Lift that out of there like that. Put that piece out of there. Do the same with that one. I'm going to check that rope. That feels all right actually. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm just going to use that piece of rope. No point putting another piece in, and that one is all glued in all nicely and will last the customer quite a bit longer. So I'm going to leave that rope in there. Let's have a look at the bottom now. A bit dark in here. Yeah, it looks all fine. So doesn't look like it's that old, to be fair. What's happened with this one is the customer accidentally broke it. Looks like I thought there was a couple of breaks on that. So there you go. Nice and easy. Remember, never tighten these up too much, because if once the heat expands the metal, then they won't come off. And then if it snaps, you're in a lot of trouble. So it's just not worth the aggro. Just if you're going to use a screwdriver, then use it. Just tighten them up just slightly, just till they just start to bite. Then stop. You don't need to do it any further than that. It's not going to fall out. Right, now I'm going to put the glass in. The customer's bought a piece of glass. I asked him to order me one, because obviously I didn't know what stove it was. He had all the documentation, so he got me a new glass to go in the door. So there it is. I'm going to undo it and then I'm going to put it in. The customer has been very lucky with this one. It's basically there's a nut and the bottom, or a bolt should I say, with a crosshead, and it won't come off. It's obviously someone's tried to get it off at some point. It won't come off. So what I've had to do is obviously with this one managed to push it down, and then I've managed to push it right down so it's actually in position. So there's the glass. It's in the right position. So now I've got to put that bolt back on. Remember, put them on at hands tight. Put that down there. As you can see, I'll put it on hands tight. It's just a little bit of play in there. I've done that on purpose because I don't want to over tighten this up, because the bottom one won't come out, and because of the condition of it as well. I don't know if you can see that it's just not going to come out. It needs to be drilled out, and that's just going to create all sorts of problems for the customer. It literally just fits in there. Amazing. So that's what I'm going to do, is leave it like it is. So basically that glass is back on there now. The next job is this rope's alright for another year. I'm just going to replace this one. This was completely threaded away and everything, so that's the next job I'm going to do with this one. The other side's okay, and that'll do for another year. I don't like to replace them if I don't need to, otherwise you can be replacing them every year, but that one seems to be fine. But as I said, the most important thing when you're putting these glass in, that make sure that you do them hand tight, because if you do them as tight like this one down here, it will never come off. And this customer's so lucky that this top one's been able to come off as it is. So you know, what I've had to do is bend this out a bit to get it down in there. There's a little bit of a gap there, but there's absolutely nothing I can do about that. It's actually sitting in there. You can feel it moving a little bit. Thread's long enough, it's not going to come off, but at least you know that when you come to undo it, it will undo. Right, basically it's on. Just got to sort out a couple of little overspills along here. And basically what you've got to do is got to make sure, obviously, when it goes to close, that it closes properly. So that you see that, so that is sealed all the way down. That's what you're looking for. In fact, let's just open it up. What I always say to customers is to give it about an hour, 2 hours to dry. You see the rope there. Let me see if I can keep it for and it's obviously got to go right the way around the actual, around this side as well, all the way down there, all the way at the top here, as you can see, right the way around on that side. As I said, we're not going to be doing this side this year. Excuse me, it looks all fine, so there's no point in taking it all off. These are probably quite tricky ones to do, but if you do them, if you take your time. But the whole point of this video really is not about putting the gasket rope on. That's just a bit of an extra thing. Is how to put the glass on the wood burning stove doors. The actual rope part is just an extra part that I've done to show you. Especially on these appliances, you can put the whole piece going right the way round. What I do is I do it in 2 pieces, as you can see. I start from the middle, and then I work my way down all the way round to the bottom, and I do the same on the other side. That way, if you just start at the middle, then it gives you a good base for it to go around that side there, all the way down there, like that. So that's how you do it. So basically, remember, when it comes to the glass, if you ever have got a broken glass and you've got to put a new bit on, make sure that you never over tighten the nuts on the glass, on the brackets. Just do them hand tight if you can. The screws should be long enough. Just tie them up with your hand. Just literally go like that, and just screw it up. It moves a tiny little bit, which is fine. You want a bit of flexibility. It's not going to fall out. It's fine. With this was just a bit of an extra bit, because obviously look at the state of the rope. Look, that's what it looked like before, and that's what it looked like afterwards. So like that's what so obviously now look at that nice finish there. Now just sitting there nicely with the other side. It won't take long before it goes back to the same colour as the other side. Obviously look out for things like if there's any glue, because you don't want that bit sticking on this side. But there you have it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to leave it like that for a little while. Sweep the chimney, and job's done. I hope you've learned something today, and remember, don't over tighten them bolts, and don't leave your wood next to the wood burners. Have a lovely day from Zachary Sweeps.